Hi, this is Katie Weeks with Close to My Heart, and I'm here today to do a collab with Crafty Owl. And Alessia had put up this darling little card that I wanted to try to imitate for you today. So I started with some paper from the In This Together pack, and I layered on the light side of the Grape cardstock from Close to My Heart, and then I stamped this chair. So I found that I really needed something with bold lines in order to do the masking the way that she had demonstrated in her card. And so I didn't have a couch with a large thick line, so I chose this chair instead. And you can see the mask that I made. I made another card too. You'll see it at the end of this video. And then I took my Seedless Preserves Distress Oxide inks and I gave it that shadow behind, and I had masked off the chair and tried to kind of imitate what she had going on her darling little card. And I couldn't find like the right size stack of books and cup like she had on her card. So I kind of came back like the next day to finish this card. And so you'll see I put my gems on and kind of finished off the card, but then I still wanted to add that other layer of masking like she had done on the stack of books with the cup. And so I went through my stamps and searched and finally found something that I thought would work. But here you see me finishing off my card. The first card that I make was inspired by her card, but I actually didn't stick to mimicking it enough. So then I went back and I made this card. And I also finished the inside of the card and made it with the same layers and gave myself a place that I could write in a sentiment on the inside of the card as well. So I noticed that Alessia was adding inside decorations to her card, so that's why I made sure I did that on this card. And here I have a little flower pot and a side table, and I masked off the flower pot and put it on that table. And the bottom was a bit too rounded for me, so when I cut the whole thing out, I actually left off the very bottom line and just ended on that scallopy part for the table. So this one didn't have quite as thick of lines, and the flower pot didn't have as thick of a lines, and so I could really see the value of those thicker lines to do the masking. I couldn't find a shimmer brush the color exactly that I wanted, so I just created my own color with Bluebird ink and a clear shimmer brush, and I did the pot with that shimmer brush and squeezed till I had it running clear again. And I don't think it's on here, but I actually took a scrap piece of, oh yeah, it is, a scrap piece of cardstock, and I'll just save that. It's kind of how I cleaned up part of the mess. I'll save that and use that as a background for some mixed media type card in the future. So here I used the green apple shimmer brush, and I think I used the grape to do the flowers, and I put some clear shimmer brush in the center of that flower. And I really like how the shimmer brush made that masked element flower pot pop off the card a little bit and put focus on that item as well. And I tried to stick to the rest being true to how Alessia had done hers. I did not color the side table, nor did I color the chair. I did stamp the chair in a sapphire ink, so it gave it some color, but I did not color it in. So I tried to make it look as much like her card as I could. And I used my 3D foam dots to pop this element up. And then I'll let you see the two cards again, the finished card for this and the inspiration card, so you can see how I interpreted her card. And I thought this was really, I really liked how it turned out. I kind of did a mirror image, so her couch was on the left and I did the chair on the right, but I tried to stick to some of her basic elements when I was recreating her card. And I had to add back on another gem. I like to have those in odd numbers. Okay, and then here comes the next card that I did where I did not stick to her sketch at all. And I actually put the chair on the inside of the card, but this is from her May SheetLoad sketch that I kind of took my inspiration for the front of the card, and I decorated the envelope because Alicia has been doing that lately. And here's the chair on the inside, but I added a stencil when I used the Distress Oxide ink in the background, and here I used 2 colors of ink as well. And since it's for my dad for Father's Day, I had to put a snarky thing on the back side of the card. Okay, so I hope if you've enjoyed this, you will consider giving me a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe to my channel. And make sure you hit the bell to turn on all the notifications. And the biggest compliment would be if you could share this with your crafty friends and maybe even leave a sweet comment. So thank you, Crafty Owl, for including me on your Inspired Saturdays. If you haven't visited Crafty Owl's YouTube channel, please go to the link in my description below to see her inspiration card that I used today and the card that she created where she was inspired by one of my cards.